meeting through a joint press briefing. Welcome, Your Excellencies.
Please, let's take our seats. Thank you very much. Mr. Prime Minister, on behalf of the government and people of Kenya, I am deeply honored to receive and welcome you, the first ever visit by head of government and the Prime Minister of the Czech Republic, together with your delegation on this official visit to Kenya, which is also the very first visit to the country by our Czech Prime Minister. We are therefore immensely privileged by this historic visit, and welcome. Prime Minister Fiala and I have just concluded productive discussions on a wide range of issues. Kenya and the Czech Republic have shared warm and friendly relations since 1993, when Kenya formally recognized the Czech Republic as one of the successors of the states of the former Czech and Slovak Republic and Federation. This visit is therefore timely, and I thank Prime Minister Fiala for his demonstrable goodwill and strong political commitment to enhance the relations between our two nations and between the people of the Czech Republic and the people of Kenya. The Czech Republic is a highly valued partner to Kenya. The scope of our bilateral cooperation ranges from trade and economic cooperation, wildlife conservation, health education, technology, defense and security, climate action, to regional and multilateral cooperation. Undoubtedly, Mr. Prime Minister, there is immense potential for us to broaden and deepen our partnership. In our bilateral meeting today, we held in-depth discussions on ways of enhancing trade and investment, and I thank Prime Minister Fiala for being accompanied with a huge delegation of business people who have had very fruitful interactions with our own private sector and business people under the Chamber of Commerce in our two countries. I take this opportunity to encourage the business delegations accompanying His Excellency, the Prime Minister, to explore the huge untapped investment opportunities in Kenya. And I have also informed them that those opportunities are not limited to the 52 million people in Kenya. They extend to the East African community with a population of 350 million people. Those opportunities extend to the tripartite free trade area between EAC, COMESA, and SADC, with a population of 750 million people, and they extend all the way to the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, which is a population of 1.4 billion people. To accelerate growth in trade and investment, we have agreed on the following steps for immediate action: that the Czech Republic consider establishing a commercial hub in Nairobi and use Kenya's geostrategic advantage as a gateway for the broader regional and continental engagement in terms of trade and investment, and that we implement urgent measures to establish a business council that will serve as a platform for bilateral private sector consultations and engagements to be brought together by the Chamber of Commerce in Kenya and the Chamber of Commerce in the Czech Republic. Following the Czech-Kenya Business Forum yesterday, attended by more than 120 companies from our two countries, and which Prime Minister Fiala graced with his presence, I am confident that Kenya and the Czech Republic will witness higher levels of commercial and trade activities that will spur increased investment from Czech companies into Kenya in diverse fields in our economy. Czechia companies' investment in Kenya will be a most strategic decision for both our two countries. The Africa Continental Free Trade Area, a market, as I have said, of 1.3 billion people, is currently being organized, and Kenya's vantage point will afford Czechia companies unimpeded access to this market. And in conjunction with Kenya's ratification of the EU Economic Partnership Agreement, Kenya offers a compelling array of benefits unmatched in our region. I did also take the opportunity to thank His Excellency Prime Minister for Czech's support as we negotiated the Economic Partnership Agreement that now has been concluded, and we will be signing it off on the 17th of December, that affords Kenya, being the first country in our region, to get quota-free, duty-free access to the European market, and that this will be a leverage that we can share with our Czech counterparts as they explore opportunities in the Kenyan space. Kenya and the Czech Republic are working in concert on biodiversity conservation, in particular on saving the northern white rhino from extinction in collaboration with the Old Vegeta Conservancy in Nanyuki. Up to 25 embryos have been produced for future implantation, and we have committed to strengthen this partnership, as I thank His Excellency for the role the Czech Republic is playing in the whole space around climate action. And I have asked the Prime Minister to work with us as a continent, even as we go into COP28, to support our propositions underpinned by the Nairobi Declaration that brought together the continent of Africa, and our suggestions and our ideas forming solutions for climate change going into the future. In the complex world we inhabit, Kenya and Czech must enhance collaboration in the face of serious security challenges. We are already partnering successfully on security and defense policy and programs which reflect high level of mutual trust between our two countries, and we are committed to expand our engagement in that space. I did explain to Prime Minister Fiala that Kenya is not only an anchor country in terms of democracy, but we are also an anchor country on matters peace and security. And we are pulling our weight to make sure that this region and to democratize our continent. As pertains to the environment and climate change, we have shared our concerns on the existential threat and underscored the need for concerted effort. And therefore, I have invited Prime Minister to work with us as we walk to COP28. Likewise, Prime Minister Fiala and I also resolved to continuously work together across and aviation, among others. And I have congratulated Prime Minister Fiala for Czech support in some of our hospitals, in Malindi, in Kilifi, in Mbagathi Hospital here in Nairobi, and Vihiga Hospital in Western Kenya for their support. I also have thanked him for the scholarships that are made available to Kenyan students to study in Czech universities. And I have committed that we will look at avenues to expand in the development of our human capital, appreciating that Kenya has among the best human capital globally, and education helps us to sharpen